sandcap guy with power. The hybrid is reinvented. Defy order.
Wagwan to Lee Marvin Hitchman. What a day I've had. Shout out to my brother from another mother, Lee Marvin Hitchman, born in prison. How are you, Jerry? Hello, can you hear me now? How's it going, Jerry? What a fucking day I've had today. You know, shout out to Lee Marvin Hitchman. What a fucking guy, man. You know, like I said, man, he showed up for me today, you understand? He fucking showed up for me today. You know, and like I said, because of him, you know, I'm gonna get my teeth done. You know. Yeah. I seen Bruce Springsteen today. I said, how are you, Bruce? It's Stuart. Oh baby, we are working on building something. How are you, Andrew? So me and my friend, how about this? He's gonna help me write me book. Because his book is successful and he believes so are mine. But today we just went out. You know, like a boys' day out. You know, and fair play to him today, like, you know, decent people. Like I said, you know what, if I had been anybody else, I'd have making an excuse. I can't be asked meeting you, but Lee is a friend, you know. He's like a big brother to me, man. You know. It's like, so fucking shout out to him and his missus, man. His missus is bringing out her own book as well, Kira. And like I said, here, you know, if somebody helps you, you fucking return the favour, mate. You know, not because anyone asks you, you do it from the heart. From that. You do things because you want to help people, right? Jerry, thanks for coming in. Hey, did you see that big fish I caught for you? I said, fuck you, Jerry. There's a PB. And Jerry, I knew I failed loads of times, right? But it's like, the only way to learn is from failure. The only way to be hungry is to be from failure. Shout out to me queen. I'm looking forward to my procedure tomorrow to go and get a 3D 4D scan of my mouth. You know, £500 for an x-ray. But like I said, yeah, what's the point in going to Turkey? Like, you know what I mean? I need to get my teeth fixed in this country, which is going to cost a lot of fucking money, mate. But look at here, I just want to chew a fucking apple. like, or near, whatever it may be. You know, I am here. You know, like, when you're a drug addict or an ex-addict or in recovery, people tend to judge you because of your teeth or what have you. And you'll still have something to say. But fuck them. You know, like I said here, I know something you don't know. You see, I have friends on this app in our community that'll vouch for me, that'll stand by me and with me if needed be. But like I said, see today, Lee fucking, he did a G thing today. You know, like I said, he said to me, you better be ready for fucking 10 to 12. I'm on my way into Uber. Picked me up, brought me into town, wanted to get me filled. Do you know something? And you know what? He done that out of love and friendship for me. Because he knows I'm scared of a dentist and I've not used one, obviously, for years. And society are going to put you down whether you have Dougie Joyce teeth or not. You know, but like I said, I'm doing something for me. You know, not for anybody else, just for me. For once in my fucking life, I'm not going to worry about everybody else. I'm going to worry about me. And tomorrow, all time, you know what? I couldn't come sooner. Get me in the X-ray. Take them all out. One at a time. Take it out. Jude, a root can take it out. Yeah. Fuck it. Now, while I was in town today, I seen a real celebrity, Lee Marvin Hitchman, and then we seen Bruce Springsteen. I said, here, I'm not here to see Bruce. I'm here to see Lee. Did you get it? I'm not here to see Bruce. Well, go on, I'm here to see Lee. Like I said, see Lee, he's one of the realest on here, you know, and for some reason he has a lot of time for me. You know, he's like, bro, you're not like any of them wankers on there. Know that. You know, like, I was talking to Lee about writing me book, and he's like, Jude, I'll help you with your book. In fact, I know somebody that can write your book. But like I said, it's like all in good time. This'll happen. If I die tomorrow, my son will write this book. You see, because I've left notes here, there, and everywhere, just in case I can't fulfill my obligations, being seen this through. Full send. Operation Retrieval. Operation Retrieval. My fucking life back. You know, like, you know, it's time. And I've had a lot of time to reflect on things. And when I look in the mirror, I don't like what reflects back at me. It reminds me of me past, and I said, I'll never get teeth like that. It's like, but the only way to say goodbye to it is to face it head on. And when I have me big Dougie Joyce teeth, yeah, I want to be able to chew an apple. You know, simple things you take for granted. And like I said, it's like, shout out to Lee for what he did today, man. He went above the duty of a friend. He took me into it. I'm not going into it, but I'm in good hands. That's all I know. You know, it's going to be a very expensive fucking procedure, but fuck it. You know, it's like I'm ready. You know, I'm 50 years old. I'm ready to say goodbye to my whole life for good. You know, like I said, I've been working on myself. I've been working on my weight. I've been working on my mental health. I've been working on my triggers. Sometimes you just can't get them out of your head. But today, wait till you hear this. Lee says to me, Jude, Bruce Springsteen is playing here today, so we went over to his hotel. We stood outside this hotel with a load of other fans. 2 women were crying. You know, one of them passed out. I'm like, Lee, look at her over there crying. Where? 3 o'clock. I was like, bro, don't stare, it's rude. You know, he's like, how are you, Bruce? I wasn't born in the USA, I was born in prison. I was like, wagwan. Amen. Proper thing, bro. Yeah, he's a celebrity. I didn't come here to see Bruce. I come here to see Lee. You get it? Yeah, we're here to see Lee. Nah, Bob, I'm getting them for me. I'm getting them for you. I'm getting them for me children. You know. Hey, can you picture that though, Bob? It's going to look weird looking at myself like that. Look. You know, like I'm 50 years old and I've been miserable for many years and I just want to smile again. You know. So I made a big boy step today, I'll tell you now. I'm fucking terrified of dentists, obviously. She said, when was the last time you brushed your teeth? I was like, are you taking the piss? What teeth? You know, Leah's like, Jude, pipe down. Sorry, bro. Oh, yeah. We'll take a few pictures, all right? We just won't be able to share them with anybody. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me a fuck, yeah. Fuck, yeah. But, like I said, it's needed and we're working on it. So tomorrow we're going for a 4D scan on my face and a 3D, just in case they missed it. You understand? But today it's restored my faith in humanity because, like I said, Lee, when I was sick, I wasn't long out of hospital. It's like, and he reached out to me and he said, bro, I have a copy of my book for you. I've signed down. I was over the moon, you see, because when it comes to YouTube, Lee's been on every big podcast on YouTube, you know, and you can learn from people like Lee. You know, like when I read his book, we were talking about it today. I said I've read it about 4 times properly. You know, it's like I looked at your book through your eyes and it was like, my gee, I was like, nah, bro, you're my done. You know, he said, Jude, I'll help you write your book. You know, and shout out to his Mrs. Kira. She's going to be writing the book and we're going to be putting her on my community page, okay? Because today, Bruce Springsteen's in town. I went over to where he was staying, me and Lee, and I said, here, I'm not here to see Bruce. I'm here to see Lee. You know, but it's give me a boost. You know what I mean? It's give me a boost. Like, I'm not joking, you know. I can't wait to get this X-ray. X-ray. I can't wait. You know, like, I didn't see this happening a week ago. And it's amazing. It's like, you know what the butterfly effect is? You know, it takes one hurdle in life that you have to get over one day. And I always said, like, I'll be honest with you, I hated myself for many years. I'm still not in love with myself, but I'm in love with myself enough to know that I have an opportunity right now and, you know, one of the best dentists in this city. I'm in good hands is all I know. You know, he said something stupid to me. He goes, bro, famous people on YouTube have big horse teeth like me and Dougie. You know, and like I said, if it means me having big horse teeth, so be it. You know, because it give me a boost. And like I said, today's been a good day. You know, I went into town. I got to see a celebrity today, Lee Marvin Hitchman. And while we were in town, we seen Bruce Springsteen. I was like, yeah, I'm not here to see Bruce, I'm here to see Lee. Ah! Yeah, like that. Would you like some food, Jude? No, bro, I'm good. Bro, do you want McDonald's jump up? Do you want... Nah, bro. Do you want to go in here? You know, so shout out to Lee for today. Like I said, yeah. See, Lee has done more for me than a lot of Irish people are doing a lifetime. You see, Lee knows me. He also knows me family and extended family. Lee's a friend of the family. He's welcome at the family home or here anytime, you know. And he restored my faith in humanity today by his humility. He's so fucking humble, you know. And his weed's a lot stronger than mine. But he did something for me today that I won't forget, you know. And if you've not bought his book, Born in Prison, guys, I'm going to put it on my community page. It's like, and go check it out, you know, because it took me a few attempts to read it. There's no point in just reading 3 or 4 pages and then putting a bookmark in it. You know, when I seen through his eyes, because I know exactly that the world, that life, you know, and like I said, man, he said that he'd help me with me book. You know, and believe me, a few of my friends have asked me not to write it. But yeah, to the friends who said don't write that book, fuck you. It's my book, my photographs, my story. And I tell you what, everybody gets a nickname with me. How are you, Mr. Solway? But like I said today, I said, here, Bruce Springsteen in the building. I was like, here, bring him out. Come out here, you. We're not here to see Bruce, we're here to see Lee. So me and Lee made some content today. I was in the dentist chair like that with me phone. How are you? We're here. It's like, he's like, will you put your fucking phone down, bro, and get the glasses on you and shut up. Sorry, bro. You know, but like I said, it's like, for me, I look up to people like Lee on our community because he's been on every channel you can imagine. Any big channel like James English, Sean Atwood, Lad Bible, you know, you name it, he's been on it. And he wants to help me. Never mind, fuck me YouTube channel, you know, off YouTube. You know, like I said, Bruce Springsteen is in Manchester today. So Lee said to me, here, you know, Bruce Springsteen. I was like, not personally. You know, we were just bouncing off each other, you know. It's like, so I was like, yeah, where's he coming out? What entrance? You know. So Lee said, bro, I'm going to dive over here, do your thing. So I got a video, yeah. And Lee stood there, yeah. And all the fans are outside clapping. I'm like, he's a real celebrity. I'm not here to see Bruce. I'm here to see Lee. But we bounce off each other. There's a chemistry there. There's a connection. Hey, Christine. And Lee, for me, showed how much of a man he was when Lane Ditchy, you little scouse midget. Yeah, where'd you disappear to? You wouldn't trap me again, bro. Because remember when you said, fucking ring me now? Fucking ring me? And all this. A few years ago, I fucking rang you, didn't I? When you were on your bike. And what did you say to me? I'll ring you back, Jude. You did ask for me to ring, and I did ring. And what did you do? You said you were on your bike. Yeah. So, Lee Marvin Hitchman defended living in London, not because he liked him, because he was being fucking violated. And you don't hear boxing's a gentleman's game, do you understand? Like that. Fucking hitting somebody. So Lee stood up and said, here, nah, that ain't happening to me. You don't fucking hit somebody from behind. So that's how I didn't even have to meet Lee. By that one act that they told me, you know, even though Lee could have put himself in a world of shit, involving himself in that, but you know what? He went there on his own and he said, yeah, what? Do something, mate, here. This geezer can make a phone call and have 20 man there. I didn't like living in London at the time. I didn't like Ditchy either. I don't like snakes. And he tried to threaten me, you know what I mean? But I said, here, listen to me, you big bowsy, you. I live in Manchester, right? I'm not like everybody else on here. You won't fucking threaten me, mate. Do something about it. I'll come to Liverpool. But like I said, this is how YouTube can get you into a lot of bullshit with other people. You know, I was on a channel one night and he started fucking saying certain shit. And I said, you're a fucking lying cunt. It's like, I can prove you're lying. And he swore on his daughter's life. And I was like, you fucking cunt. But Lee Marvin Hitchman stood up for living in London. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of any of them. It's like, but when you're at an event, you have to understand something here. You can't just fucking punch someone in the back of the head when they're not looking. Christine, I'm fine. I went to an appointment today. I went out with Lee for the morning and the afternoon. Bruce Springsteen is playing at the Co-op tonight, so we went over to the hotel he's staying in Deansgate. So I went over and I said, yeah, Bruce, born in the USA. Next of all, I could hear Lee Marvin Hitchman going, yeah, I know you were born in the USA. I was born in prison. I was in stitches laughing. I was like, bro, get over there. You're fucking more celebrity than him in this city. Do you understand? I was like, here. You know, here. I'm not here to see Bruce. I'm here to see Lee. And we made a bit of videos and a bit of content. You know, but I had a fantastic day with him because, like I said, on this YouTube community, there's a lot of fucking snaky rat bastards, yeah? And see, Lee is a humble guy. You know, he doesn't get into, you know, all that nonsense. And the way I see it is, I look up to him because Lee is a content creator. He's a YouTuber. He's got a book. Do you understand? He said to me, bro, I'm going to help you with your book. Do you know what you're sitting on? He said, if everything you told me, Jude, is fucking true, see your book, full disclosure. Fuck yeah, I'm just going to, yeah, you can call me a big rat bastard. I've been saving this. Oh, yeah. You know, the things I'm going to put in this book. Hey, have you any friends that have been tried to be assassinated 3 times? Has your friend died in your arms after being stabbed and a fountain of water come out of his mouth and his nose and his chest? At the same time, that's a hat trick and he died. But here, my friend died, and because of that, someone in Sheriff Street is one-eyed. Yes, I tuned him in. Key 10, fuck you in your face, you know. Hey, if they had a sending 3 Lee Marvin Hitchmans that day, I wouldn't be here now. I'd be blinded. You know, so I'm glad he didn't send him. He sent the Hutchison allegedly and the Mitchell sent the 3 Stooties into my cell here. Don't send the boy to do a man's job, because if you miss me, I won't fucking miss. I'm going to kick the cell door shut and we're going to have it. And it doesn't matter how big you are. Precision and accuracy is everything, and I don't miss. Listen, I don't have trouble. Fucking true, your pipe, but I'm a man of peace, and in fact, how about this? I'm a God-fearing man, so I forgive everybody on YouTube who's ever insulted my black teeth. Have a good look at them, yeah? Okay. Clip that. Well, shout out to you, Christine. You always come in here and say hello. And guys, if you're not sub to Christine Newton's channel, can you go and do it? If you're not sub to Mr. Solgay, or Solway, sorry, Mr. Solgay, Mr. Solway, sorry. Hang on, who else is in there? Vincent. Viva la raza. Ciao bella. But like, how are you, Andrew and Jerry as well? You can't forget them. So, nah, listen to me. It's like I've only one person to impress on this planet that I don't need to fucking, you know, my missus already finds me attractive, believe it or not. She even said I'm charismatic, and I'm noble, and I'm humble. And that's all I care about. You know, I'm doing this for me kids, for me missus, and for me. You know, like I said, at the end of the day, Lee is very credible. He's lived that life, and we have so much in common. And he reached out to me, brought a fucking copy of his book to me a long time ago, yeah? Not once has he asked me to plug his book. Not once. Like I said, because of my principles and my pride, when I started this channel, there was conditions. Number one, we don't ask people to hit the like button. Do you understand? Number two, this has been about principle, not money. I'll make my own money when I write my book, right? I'm not in a hurry. It'll be done, and if I don't profit off it, 25% of it is going to probably a mental health charity, and 25% of it is probably going to an autism charity of my sister's choice. You know, I'm going to, like I said here, fuck you, Decker Heggie, your £200 donation to mental health. Would you stop? That wouldn't even buy around the coffee for the staff on the wing. But if you write a book, and 50% of the process goes to charity, I'm all for that. And I'll tell you what, I've got a belter of a story to tell you. A few, in fact. On that Bible there, I will write a book, and Lee's going to help me with it. In fact, I'm not going to write the book. We're going to get a ghostwriter involved, you see. It's going to cost me about £1,000 to get this guy for a few days. A couple of hours each day. Very expensive, this guy. I don't know nothing about writing books, but Lee does. So I'm not leaving anything out. The people that tortured me, I'm going to write about it. The people that betrayed me, I'm going to write about it. Witnessing me friend murdered, I'm going to write about it. Lighting a fire that burnt me brother and sister to death, I'm going to write about it. Me ma dying, me dad dying, I'm getting a Man City's fucking heart. A Man City fan's heart. A 13-year-old called Daniel, you think that's a coincidence? Have you got over 20 friends dead in Dublin gangland? No, you fucking don't. But guess who has? Me. And I can prove it. And guess what else I'm doing? I'm saving my photographs for my book. And shout out to the people in Ballier here. I wouldn't be worried, but listen to me, know this. I don't owe any of you cunts nothing. Not one thing. I'll write about what I want. And the more you say, if I write this book, you know what that means? Well, fuck you then. Because it's coming. And if I die, my son will write this book. And now if you're a cunt, your name will be in this book. And I'll give you a nickname that everybody will know. Because some of these wankers up there, I give them the nicknames. And then I walked away like a man. Bang. Yeah. Listen, and I'll tell you, can you write about a friend where 3 people come to kill him and he didn't die? Can you write about Marno Highland and Dottie Douglas. They're dead, right? So they're not going to send a hit squad to get me, Eddie. Now, Dottie, I like Dottie. I was afraid of Marno. And look what he ended up doing. Rest in peace to Anthony Campbell. Yeah, this is a beauty, this. In fact, this is a dinger. And it's all facts. Everything. Oh, yeah. Did I leave out the asylum? And Sides and Jerry Hutch and the Mitchells, allegedly. Oh, this is going to be a peach, this. But I can't rush it. I can just push. You see, I don't need to charge you money. I'll get that back eventually. Because I've got a fucking story to tell, and some of my friends at home are like, bro, don't put me in your book. Listen to me, I'll put who the fuck I want in it. It's mine. I live in England. What are you gonna do? Send a few people up to break me house up? Why don't you come on your own? Why don't you come on your fucking own and knock at my door? Knock at me ma's door, and we'll talk about it if you want. And know this, I'm gonna write a book, and I'm going to name people in my book who are cunts. I'm gonna name Ian Gibbons, who ended up being a cunt, and now I forgive him. You see, I am cleaning out my closet, and with that, everything is gone, including the black teeth. New me, fuck them. What are they gonna do to me? What are they gonna do? Threaten me? Shoot me again? What are you gonna do? Threaten me with my own gun? Beat me up with 60s because you're afraid to do it on your own because you what fucking couldn't do it without the boys, could you? Hey. Shout out to the little midget robots. Personalised ones. Yeah. You wouldn't come to Bert's after, would you? Hey. No, you fucking wouldn't, because you knew. All them wankers up there that tortured me, they're all bullies. And not one of them on their own could stand and say, right, I'll fight you, Jude, and if you want my ass, I don't owe you a penny, because of the splitting any of the wigs on my own. But these were a lot tougher guys than me. I was only a kid, so I had to do as I was told. But like I said, every psycho I've been around in my life, I'm gonna write about them. And it is what it is. I'm gonna mention Dottie in the book. I'm gonna mention Marno Hoyland in the book. I'm gonna mention Keith Collins in the book. I'm gonna mention Rusty in the book. Do you understand? I'm gonna name Eamon O'Sullivan in the book. I'm gonna name Neil Douglas in the book. I'm gonna name Paul Douglas in the book. Rest in peace. Do you understand? Ian Gibbons will be in that book as well. And I'll be telling the world he got somebody to point a shotgun at my head. And this is all my mates know this. But we were drug addicts, you see. All of us. You know, and if you want to play roadman, don't complain when the road comes calling on your door. Road sweeping, it's called. Keeping your house in order. And I broke the rules, so I was the first one to get tortured out of all me mates, so I'm gonna write about it. I'm gonna write about me addiction all me life. I'm gonna write about me sectioned 3 times. You have no idea the story that I have to tell. Blowing a car up at 8 by putting something in the petrol tank. You see, Harpo just will give me a nickname. One of them was Firebug. Ask him. You want to find me? Look for smoke. Because I liked setting fucking fire to cars, okay, allegedly. When I was a thug, when I was a criminal, when I looked up to Dublin's finest gangsters. You know, looking up to wankers, mate. You know, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good lads up in Ballyfermot, but there's a few that are wankers that I don't like, that couldn't fight. You know, they had to fucking beat me up when there was 5 of them. And one of them in that van would have fucking ended me. Easy. You know, but I'll write about it. You know, and like the person that sent me that message on Instagram, listen to me, yeah? I'm not afraid of you or your family. Do you hear what I'm saying? You don't intimidate me now. You know, and I'll write about what the fuck I want. You know, threaten me. Good, why don't you come and do something about it? I'm writing that book, and your cunt name will be in it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Know this, you knock at my door, see my 2 brothers? I wouldn't even have to go out. But like I said, this book, it was always gonna have to be wrote when I got better. And since I come off the mood stabilizer, I can focus. I can see clearly again. Oh yeah, tell you what else I'm gonna write about. See me dead mother in me bedroom. Yeah. I'm gonna write about a few friends that were executed. A couple of mates. One was stabbed, one fell out of a Concord tree. And we had brain matter on our trainers, believe it or not. You know, rest in peace to Raymond Vickers. That year I lost 3 of my friends. I lost Key Collins, Raymond Vickers, and Mark Summers. He died of leukemia. Raymond fell out of a tree, and Key Collins got stabbed by McGaw Wallace and his mate. So when I was in prison 6 years later, I took something from him. His fucking eye. And I swear it on my son. You know, I was minding my own business and he come into me cell to violate me. So, once one is outside and there's only 2, right? This fucking gobshite threw water at me and I hit the wall and come back and hit him. And he done a 360. And only for that, he'd have seriously hurt me. So, I couldn't let him off the ground. Sorry, it's prison. This ain't no joke thing. This is my life, done. So now it's my turn. Hey, cunt. I seen you coming, motherfucker. You see, I have something. Okay, it's called 20/20 vision. I'm walking in with my tray and my cell like that. And out the corner of me eye, I had a little mirror on the fucking wall, about that size, that length. I could see him coming behind me. And I made a big mistake that day. I had me back to the door. I was told, you don't have your back to the door, they're coming. All because you're from Ballyer and you're Jude MacDonald are sold into the asylum for Ballyer. All these townies want you dead. And he put a green light on my head. And that's fact. But I managed to survive it. I said, God, if you're up there and you're listening to me, if you get me out of this fucking situation, I'll never sell Class A drugs again. And you know me, son, I'll dedicate my life to making sure that he uses education as a tool. You know, not the way I was raised and not the way I looked up to people and villains. And I wanted to be a tough guy. I wanted to be a gangster. You know, and I wasn't in halfway. You get low-level drug dealers like me. You know, but when they raided my house, allegedly they found 2 guns, one in each raid. Well, it didn't belong to me, but I'm not gonna fucking tell you who they belonged to. I will in me book. Yeah, name and shame these cunts. Fuck them, they're dead. Marno Highland, there you go. There's one of them. Fuck him. You know, Anthony Campbell was executed because of him. You know, and the world's a better place without scumbags like that, you know, who are just so fucked up on cocaine they can't see and are so paranoid, you understand? And it's like, I've been around violence all my life, but I witnessed something in a house one day, and I'm not joking you, I didn't think I was getting out of this house, because if this guy had a dying, I was there, I seen it, you know, and I'm a witness, you know, and as we know, geezers like him doesn't leave witnesses. Yes, love. Thank you. I love you. But like I said, no joke thing, I've been around serious caliber men in Dublin gangland. Like where I'm from, a lot of my friends will tell you, look, Jude's not acting the bollocks. Like I've lost 20 friends in that gangland shit. You know, that's 20 mammies that had to bury their son. You know, all cause of that life, cause you want to impress your mates. And if your mate climbs up a fucking ladder, you're gonna follow him. Like me ma always used to say, if he put his fucking hand in the fire with you, yeah. And it's crazy. I looked up to tough guys and shit, cause I was insecure. You know, like I wasn't a fucking tough guy, a hard man or anything like that. You know, I just grew up around Bowsies, but here, know this. See my family, my mother's side, half of them worked. Do you understand? Like me cousin, there he is there, look. His father was my hero. You know, he was me fucking hero, his dad. My, Trevor, I seen Bruce Springsteen today in town. He's playing at the Co-op Arena tonight. So I went for a consultation this morning, you know, on me mouth. I'm having everything taken out and you know, I'm having a bit of work done that's gonna cost about a lot of fucking money, bro. So tomorrow I'm going for a 4D scan of me jaw and me gums and, you know, do it properly, like, because I'm only going to get one shot at this, you know. So today I seen Bruce Springsteen, but I said, here, I'm not here for Bruce, I'm here for Lee. Thank you, my love, for the tea. I love you. You shall see.
Listen, I'm the funny one,
Okay, then. You're not as funny as I am.
Yeah, whatever.
But like I said, today, it's like I took a step, you know, that I was afraid to take. And I used to, you know, like, that's how much I hated myself. Like, I don't watch lives back, obviously, right? But this highlight showed up on me YouTube, like, as unlisted, and I clicked on it. And in it, I'm saying, you know what? I don't want to forget where I come from. So I'm not having me fucking black teeth ripped out. I don't want to forget where I come from. But you know what? See now, I'm ready to forget it all and write about it. I'm going to write about me heroes, the people I looked up to, the people who respected me and didn't neglected me. You know, some of them protected me. You know, and it's like, I just wanted to be like all the gobshites on the corner. You know, the class clown, the village idiot. You know, and a stupid brave. You know, me mates will tell you that. And I got an opportunity at 15. And here, mate, I'm working for £66 a week on an apprenticeship butchery. I got fucked out of school and working in pains. And somebody offered me a job and I fucking took it and I'm gonna write about it. Rest in peace to Eamon O'Sullivan. And young Eamon, like I said, I'll do your daddy a bit of justice in my book. It's going to take about a year to do it. So me and Lee Marvin Hitchman were speaking about it today. He said, Jude, if you're serious about this book, let me help you. How you carrying on? Fuck Arsenal. So, like I said today, I spent the day with Lee. You know, we went into town and, you know, like he had me back today, you know, like, and I can't thank him enough. So what I'm going to start doing is, if you've not bought Lee Marvin Hitchman's book, Born in Prison, today, Bruce Springsteen come. He's in Manchester. He's in the fucking hotel in Exchange Square. Me and Lee stood outside. I'm like, here, I'm not here to see Bruce. I'm here to see Lee. Everyone was laughing. Lee went over where he was about to come out and everyone's clapping. I'm like, here, that's the celebrity in this city, in our community. Like, Lee has been on English, Atwood, he's been on Lad Bible, and you know what? He's one of the most humblest guys you'll ever meet. You know, like, I've always wanted a big brother, you know, and I've always had to be the big brother, you know, but it's nice when you can connect with people. Like I said, you know, Lee, I've only a small channel, right? Lee's been on every podcast on this net, on this fucking community. You know, every fucking one you can think of, he's been on it. You know, I'm in the U-boat with him, you know, I'm not just fucking about like I bounce on him. There's a lot of respect there because, like I said, if you're reading Lee Marvin Hitchman's book, Born in Prison, read it through his eyes. If you've been to prison, just put yourself behind his eyes. You know, and it's a scary fucking life. Like, his book made me laugh, made me cry, but it was the first book I was able to read since I came out of psychiatric care. When I say read, I mean now, I told Lee, I said, Lee, only for I come off the mood stabilizer, I could finally read your book. How are you, Matt? But Manchester was beautiful today, and you know I'm witty sometimes. So Bruce Springsteen, right, is in a hotel right now, probably having sushi, yeah? So me and Lee are outside the hotel acting the bollocks. I'm like, here, he's the celebrity here. We're not here to see Bruce, we're here to see Lee. You know, but I look up to Lee. It's like, especially on the community, because you can learn from people like that. You know, like, I don't go on anybody's fucking channel, you know, but Lee said to me, bro, if you want me to have a word with A, B, C, I'll talk to them and get you on the channel, you know. But I'm like, here's the thing, look, I'm trying to grow a little platform here where I'm not prejudiced, but for the Irish community. It's always been about the Irish community. Everybody's welcome, but I'm going to put a panel of people together from Dublin, 6 or 7 of us, one evening, and we'll go from there. Like I said, I know how to grow channels. Me and about 6 other people help grow that cesspit because Film Boy has no nuts. He has a vagina. Do you understand? And Hector, I was like, listen, shut up you. Look what Brad Pitt did to you. You sit down. You're Mrs. Bonnet, you. You understand? I'd see you a mile away. I'd stay well. I'm not going into it, but I used to think a certain way. You know, and I was stupid brave, and me mates put a bullshit reputation on me because I was a fucking drug addict. You know, egos will get you fucking killed. You know, and one day you're going to have to hang up your coat and take off your fucking Vans or whatever you're wearing your cunt feet. Now, the whole reason I don't charge people £1 a month on YouTube is because I've got my own plan. I don't need your pound. I learn it. You see, I'm sitting on a book what a few of me mates are terrified I'm going to write and mention certain things. Yeah, I hope you're worried. I'd be worried too, in all fairness, because I don't give a fuck. I don't owe any of them in Ballyferm or nothing. You know why? I've reached out to a couple of people in Cherry Orchard, yeah? It's like who I grew up with, who, if you've truly time for a mate, you'll make time for them, you know, but your fucking ego. So there's a few people I said, you know what? Fuck you, mate. You know, I don't need your help. Like I said, I've spoke to an order being Lee. And I've got a story and it'll start off. It's probably going to be called Embers of Redemption, maybe. Or Inferno's Legacy. I have them all wrote down, all the chapters. I'll tell you the first chapter. A Faithful Flame. And on the other one, the first chapter, have a guess what it's called? The Matchstick. I'm sitting on a fucking belter. And believe me, on my kids' lives, I'll write this. And I don't give a flying fuck who likes it or not. Fuck them. They know where I am. You know, I'm not getting any fucking younger, you know, so I don't give a flying fuck what people say or think of me anymore. Fuck them. I'm working on myself. That's all I need to do. You know, me missus thinks I'm handsome. So, I'm good with that. As long as my missus thinks I'm handsome, that's all I give a flying fuck about. You know, my family know what I'm like, my kids know what I'm like. You know, I'm not a bowsy. I used to be one. I was a bowsy till me missus taught me to a housey. Shout out to Lee Marvin Hitchman.
Number 1. Put God first. Put God first.
Oh, yeah.
Everything you do.
5 summers I learned the Bible. And I'm going to write about that too. You see, my book will be a lot thicker than that. And it's probably going to cost me a couple of grand to get it published. But, like I said, I already seen it happen. I'm the only one in their circle that doesn't charge people membership. Why do you think that is? Because one day I'm going to write a book and I'll get all that back. And if there is a thing that happens or it doesn't happen, if it does happen, I'm going to donate some of it. Yeah. And then whatever's left, I'll keep.
Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift. 40 years ago, March 27th, 1975, it was 40 years ago, just this past March, I was flunking out of college at a 1.7 grade point average. I hope none of you can relate. At a 1.7 grade point average. I was sitting in my mother's beauty shop. They still call it beauty shop now?
Beauty parlor.
Yeah, I was sitting in the beauty parlor. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm...
How about this? How about this? Danny G, look over your shoulder and coming. In the next few weeks, myself, my sons, being Dylan and TJ Nelson. My other son is from Ghana. He's as black as Al Jolson. Do you understand? And I couldn't give a flying fuck. I love this boy like he's me own. Do you understand? It's like people are fickle and, you know, because of a person's skin colour. Me and Lee were talking about it today. I was like, you know what? I don't blame black people for hating white people. I don't. Because of what my race did. Our race, in fact. Like when I come to England, I was racist as fuck. And gayist. You know, and I was humbled by an English black lady. She helped me when nobody else did. And it's like it helped me. I believe God sent me to England so I could, you know, whatever it was, all that hatred, it was aimed at the wrong fucking people. Me family lied to me, telling me English people are my enemy, black people are this and that. Well, fuck you then. Manchester is full of people of colour and different religions and nationalities, and I've got to work with people from all around the fucking world. Every fucking religion, every colour, every fucking creed. It doesn't matter bread to a mother. We're all God's children, and one day you'll figure that out. One day you'll put your ego aside and hang your fucking coat up, yeah. Grow the fuck up, yeah. And back to that knob up in Ballyfermot who said if I write that book, I know what that means. Listen to me. Don't fucking say shit like that, because I'll name you in the book as a cunt. How about that? Just and you won't do nothing to me. I'm not scared of you. Without your family, I'd punch fuck out of you. You know I've got a family too. You know, so like I said, this book, I'm going to talk about everything. And I'm going to have help with it. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be one hell of a read. You know, like I was a scared little boy when I went to jail. You know, and anyone who says that they're a tough guy when you're in jail, all right then. Go to Mountjoy and be from Cherry Orchard in 1993 and see how long you last. You see, all because I worked in a certain fucking nightclub. 6 years later, they put a green light on me. They didn't forget. I didn't even know what that... Well, I knew what it meant, but I just thought Sam was trying to scare the bollocks out of me, and he did. Like, when I was in jail, I was fucking terrified. I wouldn't get out and see my son. I didn't give a fuck if I got stabbed or burnt or whatever. As long as I had one eye leaving the jail, if I had a losing me hand, half me face, as long as I could see. And I made a deal with God that I'd stop selling drugs and being a scumbag and poisoning communities. You know, I had a pint jar and it was half full with gold before I left Ireland, right? And you know, many years later, I thought, do you know how much sadness is in that jar? That's someone's granny's ring, probably their ma's fucking earrings, their ma's bracelet, and I'm taking it because I have no moral compass. Because when you're a scumbag heroin dealer, all you think about is money and you. And if you're an addict, you see, I left Ballyfermot. I went to England and come back to town. And I opened up shop on my fucking own, independent. And I had a couple of people from Cabra watching me back. I didn't need anyone from Ballyfermot here. These people were much more scary. And I wanted to be like them. I was like some of them, but not like all of them. Like I be honest with you, people being born triggers me. I was in a house one day where I witnessed someone get the ear soldered to their head. And I said, I was getting sick because of the smell of it. And I said, I ain't going. And this individual, no names, Marco Island, said, you're not going anywhere. You'll go when I tell you. Have a line of that. I don't want one. Have a fucking line. I'm not asking you. What would you do in that situation? What would you do? Would you say no to Marco Island, would you? Hey, back then, would you? On cocaine, would you? This geezer was a scary guy, and I seen him doing things to people where he took a fucking liberty. You know, he had a fucking young fella in his fucking sitting room, mate, chained like a dog. You know, the geezer owed the money allegedly, you know, and he said to me, he said, see if you fuck me. You see him, well, he's in there, that's nothing. I'll bury you. But before I bury you, let's see how tough you are now. You're not in Ballyfermot anymore. You fuck me and see him. That's like Disneyland, what you'll get. You know, I went out of that house, shook, puked me ring up, all over me new trainers. I was fucking terrified, man. I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. You know, like I said, and a lot of people tried to make waves back then in Dublin gangland. I've seen it. You know, I was originally from Ballia, but it's like I was with someone from Cabra for 22 years. You know, she's related to Nicky Kyo, head Sinn Féiner in Cabra back then, right? head Sinn Féin, all right? Dotty Douglas, hey, who did he serve time with? Over a dentist or something like that? I don't fucking know, but all I know is these two particular guys were in prison, and they were in prison, and everybody knew that they were in the rat, allegedly. You know, and I looked up to people like that because they're next caliber of people, do you understand? You have gangsters, then you have fucking volunteers, allegedly, and then you have cartel affiliates, and I've been around all three people, you know, and I learned from them all. And because of what I seen and what I learned, you know, I made sure that I had to give my son a chance. So I went back to England when I got out of jail, and I waved goodbye to that life for good. You know, I got out with me life and me eyesight, and I wasn't supposed to. Like, these went out of the way to the point where screws at night time, I could hear the screws and all saying, "See you, you fucking scumbag, you. I'm going to open your cell and let these come in your cell," and all, you know. Like, you have no idea. Like, I wasn't just scared, because I was petrified. And I'm going to write about it. You know, I'm going to write about Keith Collins that night when I come outside the apartment and he was dead, basically. He had a waterfall coming out of his chest and nobody was doing nothing about it. I took on my jumper that was had been stolen from a golf factory, allegedly weeks previous. Pringle. Yeah, a lot of me mates will get what I'm saying. But you weren't there that night. I fucking was, and I watched a friend die. And I'll write about it. You know, and like I said, I have to be very careful how I tell these stories because, like I said, you know, a lot of dead people I'm honouring. You know, and here I've over 20 mates dead in Dublin gangland. I've everything I need, I think. So I'm going to play a song, then I'm going to fuck off. Now, it's 5 o'clock now. I might come back at 6:30. I don't know, for half an hour. I've done like, this is like my second live today. But like I said, guys, if you've not bought Lee Marvin Hitchman's book, Born in Prison, go check it out. Okay? Tomorrow, I'll put it in my community page. I already have mousies in there. I'm going to bang Finns on there. I'm going to bang a few people on there. You know, a few people that have been around YouTube long enough to know me. It's been a pleasure to meet some of you. I like to meet people and look them in the eye and shake their fucking hand. I met a few people off YouTube. You know, PD was one of the most interesting meetings. Because it's like, remember what you said about me, and now you're stood in my garden, and you know what? You looked me in the eye and shook me hand like a man. And I used to fantasize about meeting that little twerp. But he's bigger in person, and he's got a fine handshake on him. But like I said, I purposely don't charge people membership because I'm going to write a book, and I believe with the right people behind me, and you know, like I'm not gonna speak out of skill. You know, everybody gets a nickname with me, and only people from Ballyfermot will know who these people are. I'm not asked about them. You know, I couldn't give a fuck about them. The idle threats. You know, none of them are my mates. We were friends, you know, but some of them think their own shit doesn't stink, and I don't like that. Like, I'd like a person to say, you know what, I fucked up in life. I sold drugs. I messed up. Own it. Do you understand? Own your shit and face it. You know, see how tough you are. You know, I've had 9mm Berettas pointed at my fucking head. I've had AR-15s pointed at me head. And I've had a shotgun pointed at me fucking temple. Fucking shoot me then. You know, you're big and hard enough now. You got your weapon now. Fucking do it. You know, but I grew up stupid like that. You know, it's like I always wanted to be like the lads. Be a fucking gobshite. You know, like me Uncle Jimmy, me ma's favourite brother, right? Brothers, me Uncle Christy and me Trevor's dad, right? it's like, I used to look up to him as a kid, you know. It's like he was one of me fucking heroes, you know. My uncle always worked, you know. And it's like some of my family, when I went to England because I was a heroin addict, you know, they shamed my mother, you know, labelled me the black sheep of the family, but I ended up becoming the shepherd of the family. I have a degree in psychology, and so has my son. Do you understand? I've helped loads of kids get to university and get degrees and PhDs. And here, in a few weeks, myself, me sons, Dylan and TJ, me son-in-law and me ex's partner, we're going for a game of golf, and we're going to make some content. I'm going to go live. I'm going to try, I've not played golf in ages, I'm going to try get around the 18 and 100 balls or less, you know, and we're going to make some content. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Finn's channel one night, and Finn's going to bring a few people on his fucking channel. It's like a load of dubs, you know. It's about time, you know, like the English channels control the narrative, and they don't like us little Irish channels. Yeah, but what are you going to do? What you going to do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? What? Look, I'm even dressed. Here, hang on a minute. So today, before I go, I see Bruce Springsteen. I was that close away from him. I said, how are you, Bruce? I'm not here to see you, I'm here to see Lee. You know. So, like, guys, right, I have to go, but if you've not bought Lee Marvin Hitchman's book, Born in Prison, go check it out. It's $9.99 on Amazon. We are away. Thanks for coming in, guys, right? You might see me for half an hour later. I'll see, I don't know yet.